Hi everyone and welcome to Club 3 episode 15 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM22 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we are fast approaching the last couple of matches of our current season with Colwyn Bay in the second tier of Welsh football. Last season we finished in second. This season, still trying to get that elusive single promotion spot. We do have an advantage at the top of the table with 4 matches still to play. Got to hold on to it though. Can we do that today? Let's find out. So let's lay this all out for you as simply as we can. We are Colwyn Bay, second season with them. We are sitting top of the JD Cymru North League, which is the second tier of Welsh football. We have a 2-point gap over Ruthin and we have 4 matches to play. There's only one promotion spot. We missed out on it last season. This time we want it. So if we go straight into our schedule and look at what the results have been over the last few weeks, it will show you that since we lost to Ruthin in the league, we also lost to them in the cup as well, in the quarter-final of the Welsh Cup, which was disappointing, although we did rotate the 11 quite significantly to keep everybody fit for the league, really. In between that, we played Queen's Park, Llangefni, Holyhead and Holywell. We got 3 wins out of 4 and a draw in the Llangefni match. At the point where we had the, just before the Llangefni match, if we go back and have a look at the league table, we were all 3 of us, Llandudno, Ruthin and us at Colwyn Bay, were all 3 of us on 51 points each. And I thought we were going to really struggle at that point. It felt like we were walking through treacle a little bit and struggling to get going again. But fortunately for us, those couple of wins in that draw have been enough to take us ahead of both Ruthin and Llandudno. And now it's ours to lose rather than anything else. If we win all of our 4 remaining matches, we win the league. And that's the plan. And first up for us for today's episode is Gresford. So let's see how we get on. So you'll immediately be able to see 2 things. One, we've got a completely fresh squad. Everybody's fit and healthy. We have been able to rotate a little bit and get everybody some game time. So they're all pretty fit and healthy, which is great. And 2, we didn't change the tactic, the formation, should I say, since yesterday's episode. I talked a little bit about going 3 at the back. My fullbacks are not doing great. You can still see they're not. One's got a 6.7 average rating, one a 6.6 average rating for the season, where most others are higher than that, other than the goalkeeper who's struggling a little bit too. But ultimately, it felt like the wrong time to change it. We were on a good enough run. We were at the top of the table. We've got a couple of matches left to play. This is something we can think about for next season, whether we're in the top flight or this league, or whether we've got better players in the transfer window or not, etc. We can make that choice then. For now, it felt like sensible to keep a settled setup and hope it was good enough to get us over the line. And that being said, there's also the issue that our 2 Williams that came in the most recent transfer window, we had a defender and a central midfielder. Neither of them have been as impactful as I wanted them to be. I thought they were going to hit the ground running and be a real challenge to those that were in the starting lineup. Kind of hasn't happened that way, really. So that's a little bit disappointing. But other than that, everything else is settled. So we're going with basically our number 1 starting lineup that's been settled for a while. So for this game against Gresford, we go with Coughlin in goal, George at right back, Bailey at left back, Grogan and Davies in central defence, Scott and Woodford in central midfield, Jones on the right, just because Jackson's a little bit injury prone at the moment, Evans on the left, and Jones and Johnson up top, with a bench of Lewis, Gammond, Williams, Jackson, Bullock, Lake and Spruce. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I've gone with pump the fists as a gesture, trying to rile the team up in the dressing room. And we've said to them, we're doing well, we're on a good run, so let's keep that going, shall we? But before we get into the game, the interesting thing is, an option in there was to talk about the fact that Gresford currently top of the form guide. So they're not going to be a pushover on today's match, and we're at home, so we're hopeful to win. But as I say, we're third in the form guide. They are top of the form guide currently over the last few matches. So we'll be hard pushed to win potentially, but we're going to give it as good a go as possible and see if we can dominate right the way through to the end of the season and take this promotion spot on the title for the JD Cymru North. Couple of little bits of errors there from people losing the ball, but we get in at 2 minutes on the clock, and it goes through the absolute superstar Johnson in the top of the pitch for us. Eventually, Grogan wins the header at the back into Lee Jones, who drops in from the striking position, and then eventually it goes from the other Jones, Danny Jones, over the top to Johnson in the box, who puts a really lovely shot under the goalkeeper for a 1-0 lead. We get a corner kick on the far side at 4 minutes. Can we continue to put them under pressure? We do. It ricochets around, and there's Danny Jones having a shot from the top of the box, and he gets a parry from the goalkeeper to put it out for a corner kick again. Evans whips another one in. This one gets cleared, but we're going to pick up the loose ball again. All the pressure coming from us. 6 minutes in, we've already had 6 shots at goal. They've had none. We're putting them under so much pressure. If they break again in the next few minutes, you could see the floodgates opening potentially. That was a wayward kick by their goalkeeper. We had no problems in picking it up. We went long too early, I feel, on that one. They've picked us off on this occasion, and they've made us pay for it. That was very poor play all round. The goal clearance from them was awful. Our possession of the ball was awful. And then eventually they picked it up again in midfield, dinked it over the top. Our defence had such a huge gap in it. And Pritchard managed to run through it. Nobody really ran with him enough. Got through on one-on-one with the keeper and put it in the back of the net for 1-1. It's been an all-action start. That's what you can say about the game. Unfortunately, they've pinned us back again when potentially we had all of the run of play for the first few minutes of the match and possibly should have got more than one goal at the beginning of the game. Here they go with another opportunity off a counter-attack. This time Pritchard has been forced wide left, but he hooks the ball into the box. A looping header. It comes off the woodwork. The goalkeeper was scrambling a little bit. It didn't have a lot of power on it, but it looped over the top of the keeper. And then fortunately for us, the crossbar came to our aid, and then we were able to get it cleared. So the last 10 minutes or so, they've picked up a little bit. They've had a couple of shots, but a couple of the highlights have gone their way. Let's see if we can turn this around with this particular highlight. And the ball goes in. They boot it clear. We're going to regain possession again. Woodford on the ball in midfield. Hold on to it. Take your time. That's good. That's settled play down the right-hand side. We get it into the box and then we lose it again. And George was in the box, unfortunately, and it was his spot that they used that he now didn't frequent to work their way back down the pitch again. They're playing very, very clever football, our Gresford. They're using our weak areas to properly have a go at us, especially when we move people forward. Something to work on as we progress through the game. Again, they're in on the right-hand side. A couple of block shots by defenders putting their bodies on the line, which was great. And then they just fell to a player on the top of the box. And he had a little bit of space and a little bit of time. There's the block cross. There's the block shot. And then on the volley, Oliver from the edge of the box scores an absolute worldie, for goodness sake. This is the second tier of Welsh football, for goodness sake. They need to calm down a bit. And we've gone from 1-0 up to 2-1 down just before half-time. Can we get something at the very last few seconds of this first half to keep us in contention with the game? Let's find out. Woodford on the ball, tries to get Evans in down the left-hand side, doesn't work, and they're going to counter us again, but good for us. They went early, and Davies managed to sort it out for us at the back. Now, Danny Jones has picked up a little bit of a knock. We'll sort him out at half-time, see what that's about for him. We've got Brad Jackson on the bench, so that should be okay. But let's look at these statistics for a minute. First half, we're 2-1 down. We had 60% of the possession. We had a much better pass completion. Our XG rating is awful, for the fact that we had 10 shots at goal. It's only 0.6. We only had 3 shots on target. And that, again, is where we've gone wrong. So we are going to go into the tactics page to start off with. I feel like the momentum has shifted. What's happened with Danny Jones? It's a potential knee injury. It says he's being hampered by the injury, but he's having a good game. We're going to have to take him off, though. Can't take any chances. Brad Jackson is on the bench. You can see his fitness, his conditioning, should I say, is a little bit low just because he's had a few injury issues, etc. So we were protecting him, but he now has to come and play the rest of this game. We are going to also switch up the formation and the style of play. We're going to go into our third option, which sends us more attacking. Wide men further up the pitch, a different style of play, just a little bit here and there that helps us move the ball quicker up the pitch. Let's see if that can help us. We're going to go back into the team talk. We're going to thrash the arms. What was that? Get your act together. Start playing like favourites we're meant to be. And then we're going to have to fingers crossed really a little bit and see if we can get something from this group of players in this second half. So let's see what happens. A very interesting aerial shot to start the second half. Let's go in from there. We're going to fire them up and see what happens. Hopefully we can start this second half like we did the first half. But the second half highlight goes to them. And they get a good opportunity off a header from a free kick on this near side. And it goes narrowly past the post. And again, we are pushing our luck just a little bit. And they have definitely come back into this game having started pretty poorly. 62 minutes on the clock. The game's gone quiet a little bit. Neither team having too much of an effort on goal, really. And it's just drifting away. 71 minutes on the clock and still no highlights. So we're going to have to pause the game there. And we're going to have to do something with this now, really. Who's having a poor game? Now, bizarrely, it's not actually our fullbacks that are having the worst game. It's our attacking options, really. Other than Johnson, who's already got a goal. Luke Jones, the second striker, and Evans on the left-hand side. And also Woodford centrally having really poor matches. So what do we do about that? We've got Williams in the centre point. We could take out Woodford. We've got Bullock on the bench. We could take out Evans. And we've got Lake and Spruce on the bench. We could take out Luke Jones for either of them. Jones is going to have to come out. I'm going to put Spruce in. I'm actually going to... am I going to change this around? I think I am. I think I'm going to put Spruce and we're going to push him slightly forward. We're going to play him in the advanced forward role, and we're going to put Johnson in as the pressing forward on attack. That's the way we're going to play them. So we'll see whether that works out for us. So that's a couple of changes that we've made because Danny Jones has already come on. So we've only got one more. We've got a couple of players we could choose to take out. I'm going to take out Evans down the left-hand side and put Bullock in and just see if he can give us something extra down the left-hand side and try and get some balls into the box maybe. We'll see. We can go into the shouts as well, obviously, and go and demand more from them. As a free kick comes in and the goalkeeper scrambles it away, we get a corner on the far side. And it's now going to be Jackson that takes the corner, whips it in. The ball gets partially cleared. Bullock's going to get there first, though, and recycle possession for us. And then, potentially, there's another yellow card there. Did they get one? They didn't. They're lucky. They had a nibble at us. The player had already got a yellow card and didn't get another one, even though there was a foul there. We've got 7 minutes left to play. And this is not quite working out for us. We've got another header at the near post from a corner that hits the side netting, I think. And we're down to 5 minutes. And we're going to potentially lose this match unless we can do something about it. 3 minutes left to play. We're going to go back into the tactics. We're going to have to do something slightly different here, it feels like. Now, this is challenging because this is already our trained... well, I say trained, it's half familiar. It's not been brilliant. We haven't used it a lot. But it's our trained attacking option. And it hasn't been working. Don't really know what to do with that necessarily. So let's do this. We're going to do something completely mental that makes no sense because none of these players will play this particular system before. But we're going to go into the diamond. We're going to push Jackson into our favourite shadow striker role. If you join me over on Twitch, you'll know that we love a good shadow striker over there. So let's see how we get on. We're going to push Scott up into the middle of those other two. What we'll then do, we'll play the Metzala, and we will play another Metzala. Let's go double Metzala either side and get some support up here. We're going to take out the style of play and go route one and just launch it over the top in a very attacking manner. We've got 3 minutes plus injury time. If we get another goal against us, well, what can you do, really? We're already losing. We might as well give it a good go. So that's what we're going to do. It's kind of a Hail Mary play, really, because there's no reason for this to work necessarily, and it's not. It's not worked at all. We've not had one single highlight, and we get beaten by the informed side in the league, it must be said, but still we get beaten by a team that are outside the top three when we are trying to win the championship. And that is going to cause us all sorts of problems, potentially. We're going to have to see what both Ruthen and Llandudno have done with that. So we're going to throw the water bottle, because why wouldn't we, really, in this particular situation? I'm embarrassed by that performance. Absolutely shameful. We went 1-0 up, remember? And then we just handed it over to them and just couldn't really compete. That was really, really disappointing. So we still sit on top of the table. What on earth has happened here? Let's look at these. Llandudno won their game, but Ruthen only got a 0-0 draw against Buckley. So we've got a 1 point clear gap now between us and Ruthen, and it puts Llandudno back within 3 points of us. And so that's the situation moving on to the next round of fixtures. We've now got 3 games to play. Danny Jones is out for the next couple of days. That's not too bad. He'll play a part still for in the remainder of the season. We'll send the assistant to do the press conference, and we will just clarify that we do still sit top. We've got 3 games left to play. If we go into the schedule, you'll see behind my head mostly, but you can see Mould Alex is the next game. I love that name. That's a fantastic name for a football club. Gresford are the second team that we play. And next episode, we come back and we play Flint Town at home, potentially to get promotion. We'll have to wait and see. It hasn't gone well for us today at all, but we're still in there with a shout. It's the curse of the episodes. We do pretty well away from them, and we come back and play on the episodes, and nothing goes right for us at all. But one last chance to see if we can. We are such heavy favourites for this title. Surely we can get over the line. You'll have to come back next episode and find out. Until then, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Hope you're all doing magnificently well out there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. That will help me get seen by more people. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.